Hello and welcome to another video on Microsoft Fabric. And in today's video, we are going to discuss one feature which is available in Microsoft Fabric notebooks, that is data wrangling. Once you create a Pandas data frame, you will be able to see a feature which is known as data wrangling or data wrangler. Now, what is data wrangling? We have to understand first of all, what is data wrangler? We have to understand. Also, is this feature is only available there, or there is another place where we have similar kind of feature? So I'll showcase you that most of the things which you are doing in the data wrangler, most of these features are also available in Dataflow Gen 2. So you have two choices to do similar kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and explore both these features. What is data wrangling? So to understand what is data wrangling, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take help from Mr. ChatGPT. So I have already asked Mr. ChatGPT what is data wrangling. Now, as per ChatGPT, data wrangling is also known as data mangling or data pre-processing, is the process of cleaning, transforming and organizing raw data into structured and usable format for analysis, visualization or other application. It involves series of steps to make the data more understandable and suitable for further exploration. What are those steps? So the steps are data cleaning, data transformation, data enrichment, data aggregation, data formatting, handling outliers, dealing with text data, handling time series data, etc. So we are going to look at all these things. Are these things available? What are the things available in the data wrangler of notebook, and what kind of features are available in Dataflow Gen 2. So time has come that we should jump onto Microsoft Fabric, and as you know, Microsoft Fabric is nothing but app.powerbi.com. So we have to go to app.powerbi.com and choose one of the workspaces. And here I will choose my workspace, which is basically nothing but 01 Fabric. 01 Fabric is the workspace I'm using in most of my videos in this series. So 01 Fabric, and in 01 Fabric I'll go to a lake. I'll go to a lake where I have some files because I'm going to load one of the files into the Pandas data frame and I'm going to use that. So let me scroll down and I have 03 lake house. So 03 lake house is something which I'm going to open, and let me click here 03 lake, and 03 lake, as you can see, I have few tables and quite a few of them are basically shortcuts. And in the file section I do have folders, and then I have files also. So here in the files I have few folders, and one of the folder is basically lake sync tester, and in the lake sync tester I have this file which is retail data underscore fabric.csv, which is I'm planning to analyze using the data wrangler. So first of all, let me open the data wrangler. How I'm going to do that? So for that there is an option. So what I'm going to do from my lake house, I'll go to open notebook, and in the open notebook I'm going to open a new notebook. So it's creating a notebook, and new notebook has opened, and so we're going to give this notebook a name as data DW data wrangler 1, and we pressed the enter, it got renamed. So now the notebook has opened, and we got on the right hand side, as you can see, we got the code where we can run the code from either the PySpark or Spark Scala, Spark SQL or Spark R. So these are the options which we have. We can run onto that one. So these options are there for the languages. We'll continue with the PySpark. But here, if you open this data, you see this launch data wrangler. Now if I click on this, you see no Pandas data frame detected. So I need a Pandas data frame. Now to get the Pandas data frame, what I'm going to do here is basically, so what we are going to do is, first of all, we need to import pandas for that. So we'll say import pandas as PD, and then we will say next step is df equals to PD dot read CSV, and inside the read CSV I need a path. So I need a file path which I is supposed to read. So in the double quotes I need that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to again open this lake sync arrows, okay, and then I'm click here. So it's going to show me the files in this new pane, and in this new pane I'll click on this retail data CSV, and I'll get copy absolute path or copy relative path. So I'll say copy absolute path, and then I can, with the help of this collapse, I can collapse it. I'm going to put it here. Now let me read it. So now what happens to run, you have option run all on the top, which can run all the code, or you can simply start with one section by another section. So if you go down here, you will see a code option, and you will have another run. So right now I'll start with this. I have the one only. So anyway, whether I use run all or whether I use this one, it doesn't make a difference. But first time when you run anything, is going to start a Spark session for you. So, and then you can see that how much time is going to take to start the Spark session. So it has taken 8 seconds to start the Spark, and this is really quick because understand that it has allocated you the Spark and started that. Now already log has started coming out. Now it is reading the file, and this is the file which is already read. And now if we want, we can show a little bit of data of this, but we are not going to do that. But we are going to leave this job is to the data wrangler. So now I go back again to the data and say launch data wrangler, and I click on this, and this time it is able to detect a data frame, Pandas Dataframe. Let me click on this, and now you start seeing the data here. So on the left hand side, so now you can see that data is available here, and you already started seeing some stats here. So if I click on the order number, you can see there is a min, there is a max, there is missing values, unique values, and if I click on this column, I see number of rows. This has read 5,000 rows only right now. Unique values, missing value, mean, standard deviation, minimum 25th percentile, median 27th percentile, maximum. If I go to order number, this is a text data. Now I go to order date. Again, it has detected it as a text. We'll convert it into the date. We will see those things. Item ID is a number. Again, we got these things. Let's go to one of the column, which is actually quantity here. And as you can see in the quantity, again, it has given the analysis, unique values, missing values, percentile, and all those. Now this is based on the 5,000 rows, which we have got. Okay. So discount percentage, all those minimum, maximum values. Now, what are the operations available? So if you go to the left hand side, you say find and replace. You see format, convert text to capital case, convert text to lowercase, convert text to uppercase, string transformation by example, date and time formatting, split text, strip white spaces, means remove the white spaces. Then we have formulas, multi-label, binaries, one hot encode, calculate text length. Then we have numeric like round, round down, round up, scale. Then we have schemas like change column data. This is something I would like. So let me click on the order date, and this is what operation I want to perform. Let me see if I can perform here from the 3 dots only. I want to perform that. So I clicked on these 3 dots, and I got this change data type option also here. And let me click on that, and you can see on the left hand side, it has given me the option, and here the type I'm going to select date time, NS. Date time 64 NS is the option I selected, and now I'll say apply, and as you can see, I got this in the green, and now my order date is the date data type. Okay, now based on the date data type, it is giving the stats. So rightmost side you are seeing stats, leftmost side you are seeing the operation which you can perform. Now I have a sort and filter, so I can perform a filter operation if I would like to do. So I can go ahead and say, okay, my order date, so I'm performing a filter operation, is greater than, and I'll say 2015, and now it is giving me apply button, so I'll say apply. So I have filtered the data from 2015 and above, It's doing it now, started showing the data from there. Now further, now what happens here, if you go down, you can see the cleaning steps here. Okay, so down here, and I can give more space by scrolling it up. So you can see here what are the steps has been done, and you can you have this steps here. Now I would also like to use this group and aggregate. So how I want to group, I don't want to group on order date. Actually, I want to group based on brand. Brand remains my favorite, and I also want to add aggregation. What is the aggregate I want to use? Is sum of quantity. I'll choose the aggregation as sum. Now it's going to analyze that and give me the apply button. Okay, so now I have done these steps, and maybe this is the final outcome which I wanted. This is the thing which I wanted. So what I can say add code to notebook, and I got this code here. So I have done the entire data wrangling exercise using the UI, and it has given me the PySpark code how to do that. And now I can run and use that and see it. Okay, so let me run this code and see what happens. So now I got my data. Now I can write down this in a table format or in a file format. I want to save this data as a table, and to save this data as a table, what I need is a data frame, which is Spark data frame. So I need to create that df1 as a Spark data frame using spark dot create data frame, and inside that I need to give the data frame which I already got, df underscore clean. Now after I give the df underscore clean, the next step I need to do is df1 dot, and what I've done is I've copy pasted the old code. So let me bring that. This was some old code which I got. So df dot write, format is delta, mode is append, save table, and I'm only giving the relative part table dot retail dot sum dw, and let me execute this now. And 5 of 5 is succeeded. The step is successful. You can see a correct button here or the right button here. Now to see this, what I have done is I already open and let me refresh the tables, and let me click on that, and I can see the aggregated data. There we were using head, so we were seeing the limited data. Here we are seeing the complete data. So now we got the data which is aggregated, cleaned up aggregated data. So we have done this using the data wrangler. Now let me go to run here and stop all the sessions. And now what I wanted to do is basically I wanted to see, can I do similar kind of step using Dataflow Gen 2. Okay, so let's go to the Microsoft Fabric 01 workspace. So let's go to the 01 Fabric workspace and say new. And in the new we'll use show all. And in the show all we are going to use Dataflow Gen 2. And we click on Dataflow Gen 2. And it will open a data flow. Now in this data flow again I need the same file, isn't it? So I need to say get data, isn't it? So the get data is the step which is going to give us the data. So we're going to click here, and here we are going to say more. So first of all I need to have a lakehouse connector for this, because I want lake-03 to give me. So we do have this lakehouse beta connector, and it is automatically taken the connector available. No connection details are required. Then I press the next button below. Once I press that, it should show me all the lake, and I'm going to choose 03 lake. In 01 Fabric, I need to choose lake 03. And there I have quite a few tables, files. Let me open the files. So right now it is showing the So what by default it was showing me files and the tables. Now I have opened this thing, and look, these are all folders which is basically coming from the shortcut. It is coming right now. It's not showing a preview for that. Anyways, we are fine with that, and let it load. Now you remember we have done few operations out there, and we have seen what kind of operations we can do there. So let's quickly have a look at what kind of operations we have here. Now first of all, we see there is a challenge here. We see the first row is not detected as a header. So this is the first operation which you can do, and that operation is available under the home tab here, which is use first row as header. And I'm going to do that. Now detect data type should automatically happen here, and as you can see, the moment it promoted the header, the change data type has automatically taken in place, and I'm expecting it becomes order date as date or date time, whatever is best suitable. Power Query or Dataflow Gen 2 is going to do for us. Now quite a few operations are available for data wrangling here. So you can see here we can have keep rows, remove rows, filter rows, which we are going to try out. You have the change data type option for each and every column. I can click on this data type and change, or I can change it from here where ABC is given on the top. I have replace value operation. I can merge the data. I can append the data. Then I go to transform. Another set of transform operations are available. Transpose, reverse rows, count rows, data type, detect data type, mark as key, rename, pivot columns, unpivot column, fill down, fill up, move, convert to list, split column. Split column has so many options: split by delimiter, number of characters, by position, lowercase to uppercase. Then we have a formatting like lowercase, uppercase. You've seen the similar thing: convert to lowercase, convert to uppercase, convert to title case, trim, clean. Trim means it is going to remove the white spaces. Clean is going to remove non-printable characters. Add prefix, suffix. Then we have extract operations. Now add column can add the column like index column, rank column, duplicate column. It can also format into new column. It can extract and give you new columns, and date and time parts can be separated out using these operations. So you, and the most important thing which we have seen there, which we have not seen here, is basically the stats. So if you remember, we were seeing the column profiling there. Now we are not seeing the column profile. So under the data view, say enable column profiling. And once you enable that, you say show column quality details. So it will show the column quality details. It's loading for everything: valid, error, and empty. Show column distribution details. So it will add the distribution details also, distinct values, unique values. Then I'll say show column profile detail pane. And the moment I do that, and I click on any of these, it will start showing count, error count, null, distinct value, min, max, average, standard deviation, even count, odd count for numbers. For text, different kind of operation: distinct count, unique count, empty string count, etc. For date, little bit different kind of stuff, and also the value distribution it is showing. So you can see that, it is also providing the similar kind of stuff. The things could be little bit different, but we can do the similar kind of job here also. Now we have learned filtering there. Filtering mechanism is also available here. So we can go to the date, and under the home tab, we do have an option for filter rows. We can use that, or here itself, I can click on this arrow and I can say date time filter, and I can say after, before, and there are many other options. So I can say after, and it is asking for a value, and I can select using this one. Let me select any date. Let's say I select this one, and I'm going to modify it to 2015. So I'll say 8/12/2015, and I'll click on OK, and it will filter the data for me. And there, if you have seen, all the steps were on the left hand side. Here all your steps, whatever you are doing, are on the right hand side. You have operations there on the left hand side, but here operations are on the top. On the right, there were we had stats, different stats coming, but here stats are coming at different places depending on what you are doing. Typically they are coming on the top here, and then when we click here, then it shows the stats also. Now we have done the similar kind of operation. One operation which we have also done there is group by. which we have to also do here. So I go to the transform, and here also I have a group by, and it is asking for how I want to group. So I'll say I want to group by brand, and then I want to give a new column name here, and I'll call that, let's say, sum QTY. Here it's asking me the name, and then I'll say this is sum of which column. It's a quantity column, and I'll say okay. And as you can see, Power Query or the Dataflow Gen 2 has performed that operations for me, filtering of the data and grouping of the data, and it's going to show me a sample out here. Max 1000 rows are going to be shown. You can increase that number. There's an option for that here. Here on the bottom, the little bit is hidden, but if you click on this, it says column profiling based on 1000 rows. You can say column profiling based on entire data, and you can see the column profiling on the entire data. We could have done that on the last step, because here we might not have 1000 rows. We might have limited number of brands. Now I can say publish, and before publishing I can set a destination, and if I set a destination, I can move it to the lake house, and I can create a table there. And this is I'm doing using the Power Query. Again, we'll go to 01 Fabric, Lake 03, and there we are going to give a table here. Now I have moved with the default name, and see, some of the quantity is decimal number, is giving some error because the name contains the space. So we have to cancel it. We have to come here, we have to remove the space. The space should not be there. Data type, the new thing you might have noticed that it allows you to correct the data type there. So that's a really great thing which has come, that now I can do that. So let me again do this step. I have removed space from the name, and let me call it retail data, and this is PQ, Power Query Data Wrangling, and I'm going to save it inside the 01 Fabric Lake 03. Let it open, and let me say next. Everything is correct, data type is correct. I'll say save, and then I'll publish. Now what would happen? It will load the data, do all the transformation, and going to give me all the stuff. And I have so many data flows here. So if I scroll down, this is the data flow, and as usual, you remember the flow. First of all, it is publish, and after that it is refresh. It is going to load the data, so it's going to take some time. So the thing which we wanted to do here, or thing which we wanted to understand here, is basically the data wrangling. We have now option using the menu, using the data wrangler in the notebooks. Now some of the options of data wrangling is also available in Dataflow Gen 2. So now you have a choice, means based on your scenario, you can use the data wrangler of notebooks, which can use PySpark or Pandas, and can use this power of Spark to do the data transformation, data cleaning, or you can use Dataflow Gen 2 to do that. Now depending on the use case, one can prove out better than other, but both the options are available. Now some of the options may be missing in one of them. In such case, your choice is pretty easy. You can use the one where it is available. So go ahead and explore this power. So data wrangling exercise on the Power Query has finished. Let me show you the refresh history. It took 1 minute and 33 seconds to finish this off. And what we are going to do is we will go to our Lake Explorer quickly and just have a quick look at the table. So let me refresh my list of the tables. And you can see that it is right now lying into the undefined, and it can happen sometime. It's very common that for first time it may appear into undefined, but now you can see it has come, and we can quickly have a preview and of this data. So we can preview this data. So I have shown you both the option where you can do your data transformation, data cleaning, data preparation. You want to use Pandas Dataframe, Spark Notebook. You want to use Dataflow Gen 2, the Power Query, the M language. Go ahead and try that out. So go ahead, try both these options out, and do let me know what else you want me to cover in this particular series. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you.